Bonjour. Hi everyone. Bon après-midi.
Bonjour.
Salut Marine, ça va bien?
Oups, oui, bien, merci. Bonjour tout le monde.
J'ai vu que tu as déjà connecté avec moi sur les réseaux sociaux. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for connecting with me online.
I connected through Instagram, figuring one channel was good. So it's the one I tend to go most to. So thanks again for yes, where to find you.
You're so welcome. Yeah, and I have lots of different videos there as well. I have a few practices there on there that you can follow if you wish as well. So enjoy. And hi again, Debbie, Mila. So nice to always have you back. Thank you. Hi, Cody. Hi, Anne, Carissa. Welcome to everyone. Alors, bienvenue tout le monde. Comme d'habitude, vous avez un endroit dans la maison où vous avez mis votre tapis, est-ce que vous êtes confortable. So as usual, you have your mat set up in a spot where you are comfortable in your home. Si tu connais moi et mon pratique, tu sais que j'adore pratiquer avec des blocs. So I have blocks to help support me in my practice today. If you have some, please take them out. Si vous n'avez pas des blocs, cherche peut-être des livres épais ou des coussins épais, même des couvertures que tu peux rouler pour faire comme un petit peu de coussin qui va supporter les corps dans les postures. So whatever you can grab hold of in your home, something that you feel will be strong enough to support your body in certain positions, like under your hips, behind your back, under the forehead. So whatever you can grab to help support you. And if you don't have anything, not to worry. The posture can still be done without any accessories. So today I'd like for us to begin laying prone on the belly. Alors on va commencer sur le ventre. And feel free to stack your hands and create like a pillow with your hands to rest your forehead. Alors tu peux créer comme une petite oreiller avec les mains un sur l'autre. Garde votre front au-dessus. Allonge les jambes vers en arrière. Et on va prendre les premières minutes de notre pratique ici. We're going to take the first minutes of our practice right here. And while you rest here and I talk you through the beginning of our practice, I'm just going to set up my other computer so that I can see you. So let's take a moment here to, again, just arrive on our yoga mat or in our yoga bubble. Alors, on va prendre quelques secondes ici juste pour arriver dans notre petite bulle du yoga ou sur le tapis. Et remarque comment tu sens aujourd'hui. Just take a moment to notice how you feel today. And maybe you're feeling a little bit energetic. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more tired. Alors, peut-être aujourd'hui, vous sentir un petit peu plus énergétique ou peut-être un petit peu plus fatigué. But take ownership of your feelings because they're totally legit and it's okay to feel that way. Mais si les sentiments que tu gardes ne vont pas vous servir sur le tapis durant notre pratique aujourd'hui, sur l'expiration, peut-être relâche tout ce qui ne va pas vous servir. So if you're holding on to feelings that may not serve you during this practice today, then perhaps with your next exhale, let them go. Let go of all the things that will not serve you here today on your mat and focus a little more on the things that will. On focus sur qu'est-ce qui va nous permettre sur le tapis aujourd'hui. Comme nos respirations. So focusing a little more on the breath, which will support our practice. So take a deep inhale and inflate the back of your body so that it feels as if your body is rising up towards the ceiling. Et sur l'expiration, on se dégonfle et on laisse l'en avant de notre corps de se profondir dans le tapis. Alors, encore une fois, inspire et monte les espaces du dos, l'en arrière du dos vers le haut. Et expire, on se dégonfle et on laisse l'en avant de notre corps de se profondir, de se fondre dans le tapis. So take a few more breaths here, and just as you inhale, notice that expansion not only in the back, but also through the sides and the front of your body as it presses into the mat. And then as you exhale, soften so that the front of your body feels like it's melting, the back of your body is dropping and sinking down. On va continuer de suivre les respirations. Keep following the breath in your body and let your breath be sort of like a gauge to tell you when the time is right to go deeper in the posture, but also when you may need to scale back. Just be respectful of how you feel. And then take one more breath, inhale. Exhale. Sur la prochaine inspiration, on va monter sur les coudes et les avant-bras. You're going to gently rise up onto your forearms and elbows. Garde les coudes sous les épaules. Keep your elbows under the shoulders if possible. Mais si vous avez des douleurs vers le bas de dos, on peut toujours avancer les bras. On peut toujours séparer les pieds plus. So if you're feeling any discomfort in your lower back, you can always bring your arms up even more, so past your shoulders, and try separating your feet a bit wider so there's less pressure. Right. So you're in the positioning that feels best for you. Vous êtes dans les options qui vous conviennent. Prends une grande inspiration et énergétiquement tire les coudes vers les hanches et soulève la poitrine vers en avant. Yeah. So it's like we're energetically tractioning the elbows back without moving, but lifting the chest forward and up so the heart beams forward. Now take a deep inhale through your nose and feel your spine elongating. And then exhale, soften. Et n'oublie pas de allonger le bas de dos. Let's not forget to also lengthen in the lower back. We lengthen in the lower back by anchoring the front of the pelvis to the mat, by pointing the tailbone back between the heels, and it might feel like you're squeezing your glutes. Et si jamais c'est trop stressant ici pour le coup, à cause du TUES, on peut toujours relâcher la tête et regarder au sol. On peut toujours garder un bloc sous notre front. So set yourself up in a way that feels good. Set yourself up in a way that if you had to stay here for an hour, you'd be able to easily. Alors imagine que tu dois rester ici pendant 1 heure. Peux-tu garder cette position avec les options que vous avez choisies et sinon, faire des ajustements? So if you cannot keep yourself here still for even a few short moments, that's a sign that you need to adjust. And if all is good, then just go back to your breath. Pour ceux qui veulent profondir cette flexion vers en arrière, so for those who want to increase or deepen this back bend, plant your palms, appuyez dans les paumes et avec une expiration, allonge les bras, straighten your arms, lift your belly. On soulève le ventre du tapis. If this adds more stress, go back to your elbows. Alors, si ça devient trop stressant ici, redescends sur les coudes. Toujours le choix de relâcher la tête si vous avez besoin. You can always drop your head if you like. But keep lengthening in your lower back. Allonge le bas de dos. Ancre en avant du bassin sur le tapis. Pointe le coccyx derrière entre les deux talons. Et engage les muscles du face. You can always drop your head again if you prefer. It's stressful on the neck and shoulders. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, si vous voulez profondir encore plus, reste sur les mains ou redescends sur les coudes, sur les avant-bras. You could stay on your hands or you can go back down to your elbows and forearms. Maybe try bringing a bend into your knees. Peut-être plie les jambes. Et pour moi, avec les genoux en flexion, ça me permet à allonger le bas de dos un peu plus. So for me, with my legs bent here, it permits me to lengthen a little bit more in the lower back. It may feel different for you. So if this doesn't work for you, that's okay. You don't have to stay here. You can always bring your legs back down to the ground. But we're here for 5 more breaths. So breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the space increasing through your spine. Inhale. Exhale. And hopefully you're feeling less and less compression in the lower back. 3 more. Lentement, 2 autres fois. Inspire. Expire. One more, biggest breath yet. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, redescend les jambes. And then slowly lower down to your belly. Lentement, descend sur la cage thoracique. Slowly lower to your chest. Et lentement, descend sur ton oreille, côté droit. Bring your right cheek to the mat. Take a big breath in. Fill the back of your body with your breath. Donc, gonfle les espaces du dos. Inspire. And then exhale, melt the front of your body into the mat. Okay. Rapproche les jambes, les côtes entre les touches. So bring your legs together so your big toes touch. Et ouvre les bras comme une plante du cactus ou comme une croix. Spread your arms open wide like a cactus plant or maybe like the letter T or like a cross. Et aujourd'hui, avec la poitrine, la joue sur le tapis, on va monter le genou droit vers le côté et en ligne avec la hanche droite. So coming into half frog pose, we're going to lift the right knee up and in line with our right hip. And the higher you lift your knee, the more you're going to feel the opening in your hip. Alors, le plus haut qu'on lève le genou, le plus qu'on va sentir l'étirement ou la ouverture au niveau de la hanche droite. Take a deep breath in, fill the back body with breath. And then exhale, relax, soften. Et si ça ne fait pas du bien ici pour le cou, on peut toujours garder le menton sur le tapis ou on peut tout simplement regarder vers l'autre côté. So if this is feeling uncomfortable for your neck, to gaze more to the left, and feel free to rest your chin on the mat or bring your left cheek or your left temple to the mat instead. Take another big breath in. Exhale, notice how you feel. So this stretch is for our inner thigh, our inner groin. So if you're not feeling much, si vous ne sentez pas beaucoup ici au niveau de l'intérieur de votre cuisse droite, on peut profondir si on allonge le jambe droite vers le côté. So if you can lengthen your right leg completely out to the side and keep your foot flat so the toes point to the top side of your mat, this will deepen the sensation of your stretch. And again, the stretch is for your inner thigh, your inner groin, and the hip socket. So send your breath towards where you're feeling the stretch. I'll probably lock the sensation in the right leg, the right hip. Et le plus haut qu'on monte les orteils, le plus que tu vas sentir. So the higher up you lift your toes, the more you're going to feel in the stretch today. So again, try not to force yourself to go somewhere you may not be ready to go. And just stay within your means. Three more breaths. 3 cycles de respiration. À la fin de votre dernier souffle, relâchez votre prise et lentement allonge votre jambe droite vers en arrière. So really, really gently lengthen your right leg back behind you again. Et on va tourner sur l'autre joue. So turn to your other cheek. Et sur l'autre joue, on va monter l'autre genou vers à côté de votre hanche gauche, aligné avec la hanche gauche. And you lift your knee up to any degree that satisfies you on this side. If you're not comfortable with your head turned to the right, rest your chin, or if you prefer, look more towards the left. And take up a few breaths here and assess how you feel. And if this is not enough for you today, si c'est pas assez pour toi aujourd'hui, tu vas allonger le bras gauche, le jambe gauche vers le côté. And if you want to increase the sensation, you bring your toes high up towards the top of your mat. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, soften. On a probablement beaucoup de sensations au niveau du jambe gauche, au niveau de la hanche gauche. Alors, envoie tes respirations vers là. So probably experiencing a lot of sensation in your left leg, your left hip. So send your breath towards that, towards the sensation that you're feeling there. And breathe into it. Remember that each breath helps you create more space in the body to help you find more depth in the pose. And that's pretty much the definition of yoga. Yoga is to yoke. So what we're doing is yoking our breath to the postures. So maybe about 5 more breaths on this side. Environ 5 cycles de respiration sur cette côté. Et à la fin de votre dernier souffle, when you finally arrive at the end of your last exhale, gently lengthen the left leg behind you again. Allonge le jambe gauche vers en arrière. Good, and then stack your hands, one on top of the other. Les mains un sur l'autre avec le front dessus. Forehead on top of your hands. Bend your legs, your knees, et faire des essuie-glaces avec les pieds. And be mindful as you drop your feet from side to side. Because we're just trying to release and reset the lower back and the hip flexors. Alors après quelques fois, quand vous avez relâché le tension dans les hanches, dans le bas de dos, you're going to lengthen your legs towards the back of the mat again and move your hips back to your heels. Take child's pose, Balasana, ou posture de l'enfant. Take a deep breath into your nose. Exhale it out. And then from here, you can walk your hands underneath the shoulders avec une inspiration, on déroule le colonne On remonte une vertèbre à la fois. On remonte le tête sur le dernier moment. Exhale, let it out. Okay. So now that we experimented a little with half frog, on a joué un petit peu avec les demi-grenouilles. On va prendre le grenouille au complet. So we'll now take the full version of frog. So what I like to do for this posture, pour cette posture, moi, j'aime rouler mon tapis parce que j'ai besoin d'une surface épais pour protéger mes genoux. So I need a thick surface underneath my knees to protect them in this posture because my knees are a little sensitive. So if yours are too, you may want to do the same. Et je monte sur le tapis avec mes genoux. So I come onto the mat with my knees. Et je vais séparer mes genoux le plus possible. So I'm going to separate my knees as wide as I can. With today, let's keep our toes together and start with tadpole. On va commencer avec le bébé grenouille en premier. Donc, les orteils sont ensemble, les genoux sont séparés. C'est comme si on fait le split avec les genoux. It's like we're doing the split with our knees. Now, your pelvis, it rocks back, it rocks forth, right? Le bassin bascule vers en avant et vers en arrière. Et dans cette position, on essaie de garder la position neutre. So we're doing our best to keep the pelvis neutral the entire time. Et les hanches, ils restent entre les genoux. Your hips stay centered between your knees. On s'assoit pas sur les talons parce que c'est pas le posture de l'enfance. Avoid sitting on your heels because it's not really child's pose, right? Tadpole. And you could stay on your hands. Tu peux rester debout sur les mains. On peut descendre sur le tapis ou même sur des blocs. You can even lower to your mat or to your block. Moi, qu'est-ce que j'aime faire, c'est de garder un bloc sous la cage thoracique, un autre bloc sous mon front. Et comme ça me garde mon colonne droite. And then I don't have to worry about keeping a straight spine. The most that I have to do is work on keeping the pelvis neutral and just allowing the knees to slide apart. Take a deep breath into your nose. Exhale it out. As the hips get more flexible, more open, the pelvis gets heavier and the knees, they go wider. Alors, le plus ouverte que les hanches deviennent, le plus lourd le bassin devient. Et quand le bassin devient lourd, il tombe vers le sol et les genoux séparent. So you have the choice. You can always remain here in your tadpole, but if you're ready to progress into frog, you're going to take your time and separate your feet so that your shins become parallel with each other. Alors, pour grenouille, prenez votre temps et sépare les pieds et garde les tibias parallèles, une à l'autre. Et les pieds, ils sont en flexion. Ça veut dire que les orteils pointent vers la gauche et vers la droite. So keep your feet flexed so that the toes point out to the left and to the right. Now take a big breath in. And because you're supported so well here, exhale and relax. And let the earth support you now. And keep breathing. So in some of my more active classes, we do this posture standing, and we call this goddess pose or horse stance. And it's so much more challenging, especially if you have tight hips, because there's no gravitational pull in terms of the hips. Well, there is a little bit, but it's a little harder just because we're standing. But my point is that when we're using the ground, there's so much more support, and it's a little easier to find a straight back, especially for me since I have these blocks underneath me today. So do your best for the next 3 breath cycles. Envoie les respirations vers les sensations. So you're sending your breath towards the sensation. I have lots of sensation in my hip, especially my left one, tighter. Et à la fin de votre dernier souffle, at the end of your last exhale, we come out. So first, draw your feet back together. Rapproche les pieds, les orteils. And then slowly rise back up onto your hands. On remonte sur les mains and press yourself up, maybe off of your block. And then as you push into the ground, lift your hips and slide your knees together. Appuyez dans le plancher et monte les hanches, glisse les genoux ensemble. Tout de suite avec les genoux fermés, descends le bassin vers les talons. T'inquiète pas trop à ton tapis et prends le posture de l'enfant. Don't worry about your mat. Just come into child's pose right away with your knees closed, with your arms lengthened forward or back. And what this does is this offers our hips a little bit of closure after that really big hip opener. So take a couple of breaths. Inhale, exhale. Quand vous êtes prête, when you're ready, plante les mains sur les épaules, hands under the shoulders. Inhale to slowly, slowly unroll the spine and rise up. Exhale it out. Let's unroll our mat. Déroule le tapis. And you can lay down on your back now. On descend sur le dos maintenant. Time flies when you're having fun. It's time for Shavasana. On prend le posture du cadavre. Dernière posture du pratique. So for Shavasana, quelques options pour cadavre. Tu peux rester ici avec les jambes allongées, les pieds séparés. Ou si tu préfères, garde les pieds plantés sur le tapis, les genoux en flexion. Ou pour avoir plus pour fermer les hanches un peu plus, just to give your hips a bit more closure today, you can keep your feet as wide as the mat or even wider and allow your knees to knock in. Alors, avec les genoux vers l'intérieur, une à l'autre, le bas de dos est bien planté sur le tapis et les hanches ferment un peu. So you can keep your arms at your sides with your shoulder blades tucked under. Allow the back of your skull to melt into your mat. Peut-être aujourd'hui, un main sur votre cœur, l'autre main sur le ventre pour sentir le mouvement de les respirations sous les mains. So you can feel the breath moving underneath your hands, one hand on belly, one hand on heart. And we're just observing ourselves, noticing how we feel now compared to how we felt at the beginning of this practice. And hopefully you're feeling a lot better than you did when we first started. On va prendre une grande inspiration par le nez. Et expire, relâche les derniers 30 minutes. En silence, on exprime la gratitude. So maybe taking a moment to give thanks, to express gratitude, to thank whoever, to thank whatever force, to thank yourself for carving out this time for you today. Et moi, je remercie pour votre présence parce que sans vous autres, ça peut pas être possible. So thank you for being here, for showing up on your mat, for dedicating this time towards yourself and your well-being. So wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Je vous souhaite une bonne reste de journée, une bonne fin de semaine. Et on va se voir la semaine prochaine. I'll see you next week because classes are back on until the end of May. So again, from my heart to yours, namaste. Et prenez votre temps pour soulever. Take your time as you get up and as you move on with the rest of your day. Hopefully your hips are feeling really happy with you now.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Oh, mon plaisir.
Bonne fin de semaine. Bye.
Bonne fin de semaine et joyeuse Pâques. Happy Easter
Ouais.
for those who celebrate. Thank you.
Pas trop de chocolat.
On
Bye.
va chercher des œufs, des
Des œufs au chocolat.
Easter eggs. C'est
Ouais.
ça, mais dans la neige.
Non.
Bye, everyone.
Hopefully not.
Ciao. Bye. Merci.
Bye bye
encore.
everyone.
Bye.
Merci, au revoir tout le monde.
Thank
Thank you.